So we're going to be doing solving equations using addition, or with addition and subtraction. Wait, no, it's been up there for 5 minutes. Solving equations with addition and subtraction. And there's a couple of ways to do this. So let's say that we want to stop talking. Let's say we wanted to find out what x was, because a lot of times they'll tell you x equals this, but x be this, blah, blah, blah. If we wanted to find out what x was when we have x plus 10 equals 14, I'm sure there's a lot of you right now that in your head are just, okay, I know exactly what it is. But there's a way that we can solve for it and represent that by solving an equation. So, Burke, do you know what it is? No. What is it? 4? How did you do that? You did 14 subtracted by 10, okay? How many of you did 14 minus 10 in your head? All right, so what you did was you actually did subtraction, use the, what is it? Yeah, the subtraction property of equality. What you did was you subtracted 10 from this side and 10 from this side. 14 minus 10 is 4, so now we know that x, of course it equals x. X equals 4. That's what you just found out in your head without even need to write something possibly. Okay? And what you used was, see how we subtracted 11 on both sides? What you did was you did the subtraction property of equality. And I'm writing big, but equality. Equality would be off to the right. Yes, sir?
Is there a reason you use like an and?
My capital E's look like backwards 3's. Oh, just my handwriting. Is the read it's better? That's for you to decide. The subtraction property of equality. If you, that equality would be underlined as well, but if you subtract the same number from both sides of an equation, both sides remain equal. Come on. Thank you. Both sides remain equal. Yes, sir?
That problem is sort of easy, but once you get into hard problems, how do you know which side's which?
Do you mean what the variable is going to be?
No, like,
When it's not obvious? We're going to do a couple examples when it's not obvious. I think that's what you're looking for. If you subtract the same number from both sides of an equation, both sides remain equal. Let's zoom out a bit. I'll go to 150. View. 150. There. So what we did on top, do you agree that we subtracted the same number from both sides of the equation? Because x plus 10 equals 14. And we did the same thing to both sides. We did minus 10 to one. We did minus 10 to another. Now, there's a couple different ways that you could do this. Sometimes teachers will have you put an equal on every step. Because do you agree that negative 10 is the same as negative 10?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to do that, that's fine. But if you can see that it's two different things going on, two different subtraction problems, you don't have to. So we have the same thing happening to both sides. That's the subtraction property of equality. I'm going to move this. But I left my L. There. Boom. So if you subtract, remain equal. Is that too small? Can everybody see that okay? Can I leave it at this? Okay. Now for any numbers, for example, we can put an example here of that. Example. For any numbers A, B, and C. If A equals B, then A plus C equals B plus C. Oops, that should be minus because we did subtraction first. There. Yes, sir? I think I've seen that before. And I've seen the breakdown of it and see where the error is. So there's another one, which is the addition property of equality. And that one's easier to describe for you, especially if you have siblings. Now, the addition property of equality is the exact same thing, except rather than subtracting from both sides of the equation, you're adding to both sides of the equation. Okay? And if you want, you can write that down, but I'm just saying it's just like subtraction, but with addition. For example, let's say that you and your sibling, let's say you have one sibling. It's you and a brother or sister. Okay? Regardless if you have more or less, whatever. It's you and your brother and sister. And somebody, your uncle comes over and says, hey, I'm going to give your brother $50. Okay? And for no reason, just I'm going to give him $50. You might be a little bit frustrated by that. Maybe you think like, well, why does he get $50? Might I ask? Okay, let's say it's a parent does it to you. All right, that way you probably whine at him. But why don't I get $50?
Yeah.
Okay? Hey, Dan. That's what will probably happen. It's not fair, right? That's not fair. So what happens now with the additive property of equality, if you got $50 and your sibling got $50, wouldn't you both still have the same comparison of each other? Right? It's not like one sibling gets $50 more. You both get $50, so you're both happy, and one person isn't complaining. Think of this one like that. You do not have to write this one down. So if you and your sibling, A and B, have the same amount of money, and then someone comes up and gives you $50, someone comes up and gives them $50, you still have the same money as each other. That's another way to look at it. All right, let's do some examples. Because the goal when you're solving for equivalent equations, you want to make sure that you are solving for the variable, so you can see what it would be for the truth of that. So we have, I'll go example 1. R plus 56 equals negative 5. R plus 56 equals negative 5. Warm up here. And in order to do this, we have to undo what's happening to the variable. So the inverse operation, I don't even think that we get into that, do we? No, we don't, but I'm going to tell you right now. The opposite of addition is subtraction, and vice versa. The opposite of addition is subtraction, and vice versa. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So we want to undo this 56 that's happening to R, because we want to solve for R. So what we're going to do is we are going to undo that addition. What's the opposite to undo addition? Subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 56, and by the substitution property of equality, we have to be equal to both sides and subtract it from there as well. So now I'm going to have just x on this side and 101 on that side. Negative 101. See some frowny faces. And I think those frowny faces are people who probably got those ones wrong in the test. Oh, you know what I did? Good. Thank you. There we go. I didn't line it up right. Yikes. Yikes. That's probably the part of the clip that I'm going to show your parents tonight. And I'm sitting here accusing you of getting questions wrong, and you're thinking, wait, what? And I'm the one that's wrong.
Wouldn't it be R equals negative 61?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am not afraid of being wrong.
I am.
I'm afraid of not being caught when I'm being wrong. Like, if you didn't catch me on that, and you guys would be looking at your notes, being like, why did it all of a sudden magically become x? X is my favorite variable, so I'll probably do that a lot this year. Okay? Any questions on that example? Okay, let's do example 2. Oh, I didn't circle that. Example 2. Y minus 9 equals negative 17. Okay, good. Y minus 9 equals negative 17. Y is being 9 is being subtracted from y. So if I'm going to make that go away, Amal, what do I do? I will have to get the negative 9 to go away. And in order to get the minus 9 to go away, I have to add 9. Because it's subtraction. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So then I'm going to add 9 to this side so the siblings don't get angry. So I just have y left over here. And then I have on this side, negative 17 plus 9 is going to be a negative 8. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My mom was born in Canada, so...
Does that have anything to do with this?
No.
Yeah.
No, not getting there. Let's get through these notes. Nope, you're fine. Number 3. Example number 3. There's 2 different ways of looking at this. And we're going to do it two different ways. There's another way of looking at that subtraction. There's another way of looking at that subtraction. And that is, you are correct, y plus negative 24 is equal to 16. And on this side, we're just going to be adding 24 to get the inverse. So we just have y equals plus 24, which is going to be 40. Then this way, we are going to subtract a negative 24, which just becomes an addition. Subtract a negative 24, which just becomes addition. So it's y equals 40. Yes? Yes. For some reason, today has been a day where I've given out like 4 Band-Aids. There. Are there any questions on those? I don't think so. Yeah, in your homework, they want you to graph it on a number line. Yeah, don't. You guys don't need to do that. So it's 14 through 30 evens, and 32 through 41 all. No. One second, let me turn off the video. Yes, I was trying to throw it out.